Today we have our first ever guest on Your Couple Tea podcast, which is very exciting. And we are going to get into some pretty crazy horror stories of dating, the do's and the don'ts, wild, exposing stories. And my sister is here to tell it all.
Welcome back to Your Couple Tea podcast. It's your boy Josh.
And Katie, of course. And introducing
The one, the only,
Elizabeth Biz Betzing.
Wow, Elizabeth. I'm not used to that. Hey, what's up, guys?
Okay, so today we're going to be interviewing Biz a little bit about her dating life. Also, if we're like moving back and forth the mic, give us a little break here because we don't have
we are working with 2 mics, but we have 3 people. So that's the new name of our podcast. 2 mics, 3 people.
We might be really close, Katie and I.
Yeah, it might look like we're kissing over here.
So hopefully,
we really love each other.
Hopefully you're watching or listening to this on a podcast or Spotify podcast. What?
Hopefully you guys are listening to this on a podcast. No, but we do hope you guys are listening to it on Apple or Spotify. And if you guys are, make sure you guys give it a review and a 5-star because it really helps us out on Your Couple Tea podcast.
That is right.
Today, like I said, introducing Biz. We want to get to know a little bit about you. So tell us, Biz, who are you? What do you do for a living? Where are you from? How do I even know you? You know?
Well, you know me because you're my sister and everyone thinks we're twins.
True.
But yeah, so my name's Biz. I'm a model and actor in LA. Recently, I've got into self-help and spirituality. So I actually underwent a coaching program and I'm working on a self-help book right now. So
Can we just get rid of the question? Because I know everyone's going to ask, who is older? I feel like everyone always asks this question. So go ahead.
So
you
can answer.
Well, it definitely would appear Katie, but I'm older.
Wait, excuse me. It would appear.
You're saying
wow, with the
because
T.
your life is you have a husband.
True.
You know.
I feel like
I don't.
I feel like Katie's living like the older person life.
I am.
I feel like.
So that's why
that makes sense.
Everyone always thinks that I am.
Like you got a baby on the way.
That's true. That's true.
She does.
And here we are.
And here we are exposing Biz's dating life.
About to expose Biz's dating life, which let me tell you is very it's a long list of.
What do you know about it, Josh?
We know a lot.
From the stories I've heard, it's a pretty long list and very exciting, fun stories. So that's why we thought like we would let you guys listen in on her stories, and she was all about it.
She was all about it.
I'm here for it because there's a lot of lessons.
And that's what we do here on Your Couple Tea podcast. Obviously,
Educate.
We educate. Besides spilling tea, we really want you guys to learn from. We always tell you guys our mistakes, so now we're going to tell you business mistakes.
And they're not all mistakes. I would say
They're
I fully love every lesson and part of my life. Mm-hmm. But I have dated such a wide variety of people.
I was gonna say we're gonna get into that, but as far as UK rappers, celebrities, actors, models, the list goes on.
Yeah.
High school athletes.
Literally.
I mean, Biz has done it all.
I haven't done it all. I actually
Dated it
am
all.
very selective. Thank you very much. I'm a good Christian girl.
Okay, you guys took that the wrong way.
So anyway, the one thing I want you guys to take away from Biz's roster, we'll call it.
Wow.
I'm sorry I didn't meet the love of my life when I was 20.
No. The difference is Biz's guys, like all the guys she's dated, are completely different than each other. Like no one guy has been like Biz does not have a type. Or do you?
No. Yes, kind of. So
She's working on it.
I'm figuring it out. No, I think for me, I have so many different interests and I'm so curious about a lot of things. And that's one of the appeals to being an actor is I just want to explore a lot of things. So I think it took me a minute to figure out like the type of guy that I really want, but I think I got it down now. But yeah, I definitely had to test the waters for a lot of
Let me ask you a question before we get into the interesting stories. Do you see yourself getting married in the future? Like, is that the goal with dating all these guys?
Honestly, like at first, I really just wanted to find a partner who I could build and have fun with. And now I definitely am. You know, I'm 27 now, and I think I am looking for.
Damn!
I know. We're just time go? I am looking to be married, but I don't think I'm in like a rush. I just want to find my person that I really love and I love to like work with and flow like you guys do.
I love that because I really do believe that like marriage is an amazing thing, but it's not something that anyone should rush into because marriage is a huge commitment. And I think a lot of people like get the image and the idea of having like a husband, a wife, or they see different couples. Even like you could see us online and be like, I want that. But it's like you're only going to get that if it's the right person. And that's why we wanted to talk about all of Biz's dating experiences, not to like be like, oh, like don't do this, don't do that, or these guys suck or anything like that. But it's for you guys to really learn and see things that didn't work for her. So maybe they won't work for you. Just kind of like advice for you guys to meet that perfect person. And today here on the dating show, we're going to find Biz her perfect match.
Oh my goodness.
I
think
feel
I'm
like-
close. I genuinely do feel like I'm close because of it's always been a progression and I've learned stuff that has elevated the standards. And I think so much of my journey was learning how to have higher standards, speak up, love myself fully.
I'm going to be honest. I do know Biz's perfect match, and I will expose him later on this episode. So make sure you guys stay tuned to that.
You're really going to say that?
I am going to say it, and Biz doesn't know it yet, but he is the one. We're going to get into that a little later.
She's probably so excited to find out who it's going to be.
I already know who it is.
She already knows because deep down in her heart, she knows he is the one. But before we get there, we're going to talk. Give us your first story. So this is my personal favorite, the rapper. Let's get into this one because this one threw me a curveball because I was like, I knew who Biz has dated in the past. You know, usually like the athletic type, like super active and everything. And this guy was just completely different, which is totally fine. But
also,
I just
I just say really quick?
I just like to talk about this one.
Biz, growing up, she's not really into rap music. You know, so, but which is fine. You could always, you know, you don't have to love country music to date a country musician, but she was a Taylor Swift loving country, like what is your like music genre that you grew up listening to that you would be like it was very like pop-ish,
Yeah,
but
definitely
also
like soft pop. I love songs, sad songs.
So she turned to straight rap out of nowhere. So this girl.
Can you be honest right now before we even get into the story? Do you like his music?
I actually did like some of his music. I just feel like he didn't take his career to where he could have.
I see. So you were a fan.
His music was good.
I listened to some of it and it was, I wouldn't say anything was like, I thought it was good.
Okay.
It was different.
Okay.
But it was different listening to Biz be like, oh, sorry. It was weird listening to Biz be like, I love this new rap song. I'm like, who are you?
Yeah, he definitely exposed me to new music, which I did like, but I didn't like him because of the music. It was more, I found him so interesting because he was so deep. But the problem with that sometimes is I think I was attracted to some brokenness, and not that he was broken per se, but just I liked that he had gone through like pain and trauma because I felt like we could kind of relate in some ways as artists. I feel most artists are kind of drawn to, you know, that type of thing. So we could, well, no, but like, honestly, you kind of are, because you're like looking for truth of life. Yeah. And, yeah.
That makes sense.
But wait, I want to say one more thing about it. So I think with him, yeah, he had like face tattoos and he was super edgy, and we met on set of his music video. And I think for me, I hadn't dated anybody like at all in 3 years because I was just so focused on my self-development. Yeah. And I think something I was trying to experience was more freedom and not caring what people thought about me, because I kind of came off as just like this good girl who like didn't do anything or whatever. And it felt a little bit like I was outgrowing that as I became an older young adult. Yeah,
so this is like bad Biz era.
Yeah. So when I saw him, I was like, he is so free. Like he genuinely does not care what anyone thinks. He is just himself. And so I think I was so drawn to that I was like, I need that in my life. And honestly, he really helped me to step into myself as a woman and an artist, I believe.
Yeah, I do think that I know what you're saying is like he definitely seemed like, I mean, I never met the guy, so I can't say anything. He seemed like he was very like himself, like very authentic to himself. And I think that might be something that you valued. From a sister's point of view, we actually kind of did get in like a little like, not like argument fight, but like a little disagreement because
we're spilling the tea.
Oh, we're spilling the tea. I saw red flags. And I think that it's hard because sometimes like when you're dating someone or you're super like infatuated with them in the moment, you could take red flags that a family member gets as judgment. And I think like it was right before our wedding, actually, is that when Biz was talking to him, and I saw some red flags. And I think Biz thought that I didn't like him because he had like face tats, or like because he was so unique. Like I thought she thought that I was like prejudging him, but I saw other red flags because like my boy out there, Post Malone, you know, he's got face tats.
He's got your
I'm not against the face tat. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not into Post Malone like that. But like I don't care if someone has tattoos, if they paint their nails, if they have different hair color. Like I just really, in my opinion, was looking out for my sister. So like I never wanted to give you that, like, but it's hard. And I understand because I remember when I was younger and I dated my ex-boyfriend, Biz would say things. She'd be like, oh, I don't like that he does this and that. And I'm like, you just don't want to see me happy. Like, it's kind of like sometimes people in your life might be giving you advice or like trying to tell you something, but it might not be received in the way that you understand. But also it can go the other way because sometimes people don't give you good advice.
That's true. I do believe you have to listen to your own heart. And I do feel like I was meant to be with him because I had stuff to learn from him. But I also, looking back, am like, yes, it is good to take counsel from people who know you a lot. But yeah, I am overall very glad I dated him. And I think the lesson even came, though, several months into it when I wasn't being treated the way that I deserve. It was more a lesson of, are you going to tolerate this just because he's the first guy you've liked in a long time? Yeah. Or are you going to choose yourself and to trust that there's something better out there and to let go? And as soon as I did that, I really feel like I stepped into myself so much. So.
I think what you can take away from this part of the podcast is that you can learn something from everybody, and like in every different relationship, you learn something about them and a lot about yourself. That's what I've noticed from dating other people is like you learn a lot about yourself and like who you are as a person and honestly what you like. So
and like who you are with different people, because sometimes different people can even bring out like ugly sides of you. They can bring out good sides of you, and to know like what you want or what you like versus don't like. So that's why it's like, even I am a person that's never like, oh, I regret dating so-and-so. I regret this happening, because everything that happens, bad or good, it's a lesson and it's something you can learn from it. Now, if you repeat that mistake, now that's where you're going wrong. But I think it's really good for you to even date him and figure out like, you know, like what you loved as an artist, what you liked from him, what you didn't like, a new type of guy. And we didn't even talk about the guy that Biz dated before him. Like he was completely different. Like he was super, and I don't know anything about this other guy, if he was religious or not, but like he definitely was like very religious, like didn't really swear, so it was like totally opposite vibes of the two different people. So that's where it's like dating different people sometimes will give you that different perspective on people, I guess.
Yeah, and I think that also shows that I'm trying to learn too, because I've never dated the same person. I'm kind of like evolving and changing because of my experience.
So you haven't found what you like then yet.
I know what I like now. I definitely do. But I feel like I definitely was still looking. But I know now I'm probably trying to stay away a little bit from people in the arts after, because I'm just getting over a breakup.
Which we will talk about.
We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So I do have a question, since Biz lives, well, can I say? Yeah. Like, so she lived in LA, but she is going to be moving soon.
Yeah.
Just temporarily. And she's been in LA for how many years?
Almost 7.
So 7 years. And she has gone on a good amount of like dates, like first dates, would you say?
Yeah.
So tell us about
second, third, 18. I'm just kidding.
So tell us about the worst first date experience you've had in LA. Because I know with like dating apps, meeting different people through castings, there's got to be some like wild stories.
Yeah, I have come across so many random people in LA, and I think it's definitely entertaining. But I would say my worst first date was I was on set for Adidas, and this male model would not leave me alone. And I just like, he asked me out and I was like, no, like I'm good. I'm not really looking for a relationship right now. I probably shouldn't have said that, Bart. That probably was more enticing for him.
Like, oh, bet.
Now that I want to like,
challenge.
Oh, perfect. Good. And he wouldn't stop leaving me alone. And we were supposed to be shooting. And I was like, okay, like if you like leave me alone, I'll go out with you.
Oh, no.
And you went out with him?
And so I met him for a coffee. So it was super low key. I guess it's the second day then. And so he was actually great on the coffee date. So I was like, okay, we'll go out again. And so he picks me up, and I told him ahead of time, I'm like, I'm not a big drinker. I don't really want to like go out and do the whole thing. Like, let's just do something chill.
Wait, is this a motorcycle one?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
And so this guy like pulls up on a bike. And he never like said anything about that. I'm like wearing a dress.
Wait, a bike or a motorcycle?
A motorcycle.
Big difference.
Well, oh yeah, true. Yeah.
Have you ever rode on the back of a motorcycle before? Because it's scary.
Not with a guy. Like
with a girl?
No, but like my brother.
Our brother's not a guy.
I mean, yeah, he's
like a date.
I mean, like a guy I'm interested in.
Especially in California, riding on a motorcycle, that's scary.
Dangerous.
Dude, okay, I was in LA for like literally 9 months, lived there, watched 3 people fly off their motorcycles.
Yeah.
And one passed away. So it is not safe. Like it is.
Yeah.
I mean, people die all the time. From
Honestly, my
motorcycle
neighbor, and that was one of the reasons I actually broke up with the rapper, is my neighbor at the time, who was like 28, died in a motorcycle accident. I saw him that morning and then he died. And I was like, life is way too short to spend it with people that aren't treating you the way you deserve.
100%.
True. Preach.
But so anyways, this guy, he shows up on a bike and I'm probably 19 or 20 at the time. I'm pretty young. No, 20. I'm like, no, actually that's not right.
No.
I'm like 22.
I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah, because I dated the first person. Okay. So I'm 22 at the time. He shows up and I'm like, okay, like this is fun. I'm down for this, but like, please don't show off because I'm not going to be impressed by that. And I actually said that, and I'm not even kidding. 30 seconds into the drive, he's going like 60 miles per hour. He runs a red light. We almost get creamed by a car. I literally, like, the car, like, just shot out of nowhere. Well, not really, because it was their green. But yeah.
LA driving is
yeah,
wild.
yeah. So I'm like having like a panic attack. I'm like freaking out. He pulls over and he's like, "What's wrong, baby? What's wrong?" And I was like, "Ew." Yeah, I was like, "Ew, this is so gross." And then
did you tell him to pull over?
Yeah, because I was like, I want to get off, like, because I was freaking out. I almost died, like, and so then he's like, well, we're almost there. So then we get back on, we go to this place. It's a lounge. He pulls out my purse from his motorcycle, and he's like, oh, don't worry, baby, I'll get you a new purse. That purse is like not that. I don't remember what he said, but basically he was like, I don't like your purse.
Yikes.
And I was like, I can buy myself a purse. Thank you very much.
I actually have
I would have got that.
story.
I would have got that purse. Are you kidding me?
I ended up marrying a guy just like that. All right, guys, we hope you are enjoying the podcast so far. Sorry to cut you guys off, but we actually have some really exciting news.
We have our first ever podcast sponsor. Let's go.
Okay, so you guys know that we always talk about healthy habits and creating healthy habits. And
It's just a part of our lifestyle at this point.
we have one that we want to share with you guys because we think it's so good in our daily lives that we want you guys to incorporate it in yours as well. And that is taking our AG1s. And if you guys are like, what are AG1s?
AG1s are by Athletic Greens.
Yes. So AG1s by Athletic Greens are an all-in-one formula, which makes it easy for us to cover our nutritional basis daily. Each of them are packed with 75 vitamins, minerals, and whole food sourced ingredients of the highest quality that gives us major benefits like gut health, which your girl personally loves the gut health.
Gotta get the gut health
and
in.
mood support. It helps boost our energy and even healthier looking skin, hair, and nails.
You know your boy is always looking for an extra boost of energy, and the key word was all in one. It just makes it easy.
Yeah.
And who doesn't like easy?
And something we both love is we have our AG1s delivered to us every month. So it's super easy to make it like a daily habit and never like miss that. And then we also get the single serving travel pack since we both, you guys know, we're always on the go.
It's a game
we're always
changer.
traveling.
You can't lose your routine while you're traveling. So we got the travel packs for on the go.
So if you guys are looking for an easier way to take supplements, Athletic Greens is giving you guys a free 1-year subscription of vitamin D
stuff.
and 5 travel packs with your first purchase. So if you guys want to check them out, make sure you guys go to athleticgreens.com/yourcupoftea. And that is one more time, in case you guys didn't hear, it's athleticgreens.com/yourcupoftea. So make sure you guys go check it out and change those habits and make it good habits for yourself.
Let's go. Go check it out. Oh my God, shut up.
So if you guys don't
I
know,
did take Katie B on a
Joshy
motorcycle
B
ride, though.
used to ride his motorcycle all the time. He had like a crotch rocket, right?
Sport bike, whatever you want to call it.
Whatever. So I really wanted to go on it, but he didn't want to take me for like the longest time because you were
It's
like
dangerous.
He's like, it's dangerous.
And it's
That's a
not,
good
it's honestly
concern.
not
Yeah.
fun riding with someone on the back because it's like,
because you're scared that something could happen.
well, yes, every time you go, they like pull you back. Every time you stop, they crush your nuts. Like, it's
Ew.
not that fun.
Yeah, TMI.
Just
But
saying.
I remember I maybe rode on it like twice.
Yeah.
But like it was really fun, but it was definitely like kind of scary and dangerous. And I knew that like you were just trying to make sure I was safe. You weren't trying to show off. We were already dating at that point. Like,
Might have showed off a little bit.
Okay, yeah, you did go like 100 something miles.
Oh my God.
That wasn't to show
was
off. That was
good.
just for a little bit of fun, a little bit of
Right.
spice.
Okay, but the seat was this big, guys. It was like a couple inches. Like my butt cheeks were hanging off the bike, and like every time you'd gas, like I'd like slide off. So like, it was
Yeah, it's sketchy.
I made him sell it.
Oh my God.
Actually, I
Anyways,
didn't make him sell it.
yeah.
but he
So
did.
Biz learned not to keep
Oh,
dating that guy,
well,
and Katie decided to marry him.
But
Anyways,
the story gets better though, because after that we show up in the lounge after he insults my purse or whatever, and he like shows
you
up.
should have called him
By the way,
out right there
I
and
said
then.
I don't want to go out. He shows up and we skip the whole line, so he obviously has been here like a ton. He high fives everyone, like completely leaves me, and like is walking through the bar like acting like that playboy like type. And I was just like, ew, like I have the ick wasn't a term then, but that was what it is. I was
Instant
like, this
ick.
is disgusting.
This reminds me of like a scene in White Chicks where like the guy is trying to pretend someone like trying to act like this big like famous ball player, and he pays these kids like $5 to come up and ask for the autograph.
Yeah.
It's almost like he went before and he's like, everyone high five me, I'll be here in 10 minutes. Like,
Right. And so then after that, we went to One Oak, which is like this club in LA, and we're dancing, and he kept trying to force me to drink. And so I did have a couple of drinks because I was like, this honestly sucks, and I just want to get through it.
Wow, that is tough.
if you feel yourself in a situation
Don't do that.
like this, go home.
I was young. Yes,
yeah.
this is so long ago.
Like
And-
we said, learning from business mistakes.
Right. And so he kept like giving me drinks, and then I would set them down. But he was wasted at this point, and he takes me outside, and we're like overlooking this view in West Hollywood, and he started to kiss me. And it was so gross. Like he was the worst kisser ever. It was like drooling all over me, and it was French. Like you would have thought it would be good.
The term did come from the
French kiss, yeah.
It's a French
and he goes,
kiss.
He goes, "Don't worry, baby. I'll teach you how to kiss." And I was like,
Oh
"Oh,
my
my god!"
God.
I was like, "This is such like." I was like, "Who are you?" So, but then he wanted to drive me home, and I said, "No, I'm calling an Uber." And I was actually pissed at this point, so I was like, "No, I'm calling an Uber." I get in the Uber, and he's like so mad that I'm in an Uber, probably because he thought he was gonna try to take me home or something.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah. And so I'm in my Uber, and the Uber driver goes, "Look at that a-hole," because he was literally doing no hands, like popping wheelies and stuff, and he's like right by the Uber, and I was like, yeah, I just went on a date with that guy. And then I ran into him a couple months later. He would text me literally every day. I ran into him a couple months later at Trader Joe's, and he asked me out again. I was like, no.
heck no.
Did you just ghost him after that, or did you
I
like
would've.
say it was like,
Yeah, because I communicated a couple times, and he wasn't really respecting that, so I was like, it's not gonna get anywhere. So
I would have just been like, I'll take this Louis Vuitton bag, and then you can drop that. You can ship this to my address,
No.
and then we'll go out again maybe.
no, I don't really care about material things, and I don't need.
Fair.
But I like the way you're thinking.
You know, you're in your bag and you're in his too. Isn't that the saying? You know what I'm saying?
Okay, Biz, do you have any other stories you want to share with any past like relationships or things that you think would like people would benefit from advice or red flags and anything like that?
That's good. I have the one story that's kind of similar to the last story, but maybe I won't share that.
Okay, that's fine.
Is it the PJ one?
No, it's the one with the actor where I got like trapped in.
Well, you can.
Or should I share that?
You can share that story. Just be if you want to be more brief with your information.
Oh,
You can be
okay.
more brief.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'll keep it concise.
I don't think I've heard this one. So.
Okay, so and this is all when I'm really young, and I think I can learn from every situation, but I was at Sweet Green, and this guy came up to me and asked me out, and again I said no, and then he was very persistent, and I think I just didn't like to make people uncomfortable, so I had a really hard time speaking up in my past. And so that's something I got really good with actually with my last boyfriend, because he was so vocal and always shared his truth no matter what. And I think that was what I was meant to learn from him. But so anyways, at this point I was like, okay, like, yeah, sure, whatever, we can go out. And it was actually where you lived in Hollywood, like right on Sunset, like, and he said he was going to meet me down there and then we would walk to Tender Greens. And when I showed up, he was like, oh, just come up to my penthouse. And I was like, what? Like, who is this guy? And so I was like, oh no, like, I don't think that I'm comfortable with that. Like, maybe you can come down. And he's like, oh no, like, I'm still getting ready. So I was like, okay, like, I guess I'll come up. So I come up and he has like these Louis Vuitton sandals. He's like, put those on, like do this, do that. And he has like, his penthouse was huge. And he was like, oh, my roommate just left. Like they're on vacation. Maybe you could move in. And I was like, I literally just met you. I know nothing about you. He tried to. So listen, he kept trying to give me vitamins, and he was like, you need to try these. This is my new supplement. Then he signed me up for a pyramid scheme he was in. Like he was trying to like convince me to join this new company. He like took me on a business meeting that night. It was so random. Then we go to Tender Greens, and I had to pay for the Tender Greens. And we come back.
Mr. Penthouse made you pay for the food?
Yeah. So I paid for the food. We go back up there, and I'm like, I need to leave. Like, I need to get out of here. And then he started like making out with me, and I was like, oh my God. So I literally am like trying to go to the door, and he was like, you're not allowed to leave. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm going. And he was kind of saying it as like a flirty joke, but it was like actually so strange. Like, I felt like he was trying to trap me.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
I remember Biz FaceTiming me, and I don't know if was he like an influencer or something like that, or like
an actor,
kind of like a wannabe, like the Vine days were over, but you know how everyone lived in like either like the Camden or 1500 1800 1600 Vine. I was really close. They like lived in those like places, and it was like the whole like I almost felt like it was like the wannabe like Logan Paul living in the penthouse vibes of like the influencer. And I'm not saying like I don't know anything really about him, but I just remember getting a FaceTime from Biz. And this guy was so weird, so persistent on getting her in this pyramid scheme. And I've never in my life had such a bad feeling about someone. I hung up the phone, and I just remember being like, she's got to get out of the apartment. I was like, I just had the worst feeling I've ever felt. And I just remember texting because I was like, you have to leave now. I was like, leave. And she didn't even tell me anything like at this point. Like she was all like happy talking.
I think I remember this.
I remember like we got off the phone, and I was like freaking out to Josh. I was like, I don't know what it is. Like, I just have this feeling like she's got to get out of there. This guy is awful. I was like, he's convincing her to do all these things that make zero sense.
Well, he didn't, but yeah.
No, but he was like trying to convince you all these things. I was like, get out of there now. So I'm so happy that she did end up like getting out.
Yeah. So then I ended up leaving, and I remember he put his hand like kind of on my bottom, and I like freaked out because I was just like, what are you doing? Like, I don't know you. I'm leaving. And he was like, I'll let you leave this time. And I was like, what? Like, that's so weird. So I get out literally not even like a week later, I see headlines of this guy trapping this girl who's like a Midwest girl, blonde girl, same age, like literally looked identical to me, had her trapped in his penthouse for like months on end.
Wait, the same guy?
The same guy. And well,
I never heard this part of the story.
The reason the roommate was gone was because she escaped to her family who lived in a different state. And that's why she was gone. And so he was literally trying to replace her with me. And guess what? I run into her a couple months after this. So he literally got arrested or something. It was crazy. Like, this is some crazy stuff.
It was a crazy story.
And so then I'm at a casting, and I see this girl literally, and I'm like, this is my twin.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm not even going to say anything to her.
Don't you
because
tell me
it's like
that was the girl.
It was the same girl that he had
Bruh.
trapped. I was just like, but okay, I just want to clarify something, that this was all so early into my life, and I definitely got a lot better with, and I didn't know him. And so like, I want to just make it clear that like my last relationship was actually such a beautiful, amazing relationship until the end. So
a very mature,
like mature,
relationship.
Healthy, secure. I have a very secure attachment style. Like I let everyone have freedom, and
I feel like you've learned a lot from like your past stories to like your more recent stories. But I swear to you, like I have never had such a feeling in my life. And that's where I genuinely believe like God was telling me like, this is not right. Like I've never felt like that in my life. It's like that gut feeling that you listen to. And I don't know why I got that feeling so strong, but I just remember being like, this is so bad. Like, I don't know. I was like so worried. And then that happened. And I was like, I knew it.
That's one of the reasons why after that I was single for so long, because I felt so naive in a way. And I was like, I really need to, because coming from Michigan, people have good intentions usually. So I feel like I always trusted people. Mm-hmm. And because I think I am more pure hearted, like I just feel like everyone's that way. And so I really had to learn some of those lessons in order to kind of go out and filter people and realize like not everyone is out for your best interest. You have to protect yourself.
You gotta watch out for those talkers.
Right.
If someone comes off like a salesperson, it's a little... can be a little scary.
This is what I feel like I've learned and like just witnessed is like when someone is so all about themselves, they're only telling you about themselves. It's like that should be an ick for you. And not that like you have to be talking about yourself on the date, but it's like they should be so curious in getting to know you and like a little bit about themselves. Like it definitely should go back and forth. Like it shouldn't be like if someone starts bragging about what they're doing, that should also be a red flag. It's like it's good to be proud of your accomplishments. But it's one thing when someone asks you what you've done and when you're just like kind of telling everyone and trying to validate who you are and like how important you are to people because that stems from insecurity, which can lead to many problems.
Yeah, I definitely don't feel like I've ever been attracted to people who are talking about what they've done or have an ego. That's always been something I've definitely been turned off to.
You've been good. Yeah. You've been very good. With,
like, and I will say something that I think is really cool about me is I'm able to recognize when something isn't healthy or good for me. And I have this like almost uncanny ability to flip a switch.
This girl, I will call her. She will be head over heels. I'm going to marry this guy.
No, I do not say that.
No. But like basically just like, I really do think like I could marry. I see myself marry next day.
Only with one person, which was my last boyfriend.
No, who else was it? No,
that's the only person.
The boyfriend that when I lived there. In LA?
No,
but you didn't say marry, but like she'll be so all about someone. And then when she knows in her head that she doesn't want to date them anymore, I'm over it.
Well, that's because I try for a long time and I think
she's got good intentions. She's dating to marry.
I admire it because it's like rather than being someone who's like, I know this isn't right for me anymore, but I'm going to like stay in it for long. It's like, she's like, I don't deserve it. I'm over it. And it's like a switch flips. And I feel like so many girls almost need that in their life to help them because it's like, you just decide you're like, I don't deserve it anymore. I'm done.
Yeah.
It's a good quality.
And to be fair, like I've dated some people where I think a lot of people would settle with them. Like for instance, like some famous actors where it's the type of person most people would sacrifice themselves in order to be with them. And it's like, for me, it's like, I don't look at them like that. I just want someone who loves me, who I can also love and we can support each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because money and fame, like all that, it doesn't matter. There's lots of famous and like successful people that are very sad.
Speaking of money, Biz does have a sugar daddy at the pickleball courts.
Oh my God.
Again, we can
sugar
come
daddy.
back.
He's
we
not
can
lying.
Come back to that later. But a 75-year-old man has given her a $300 pickleball paddle.
What did you do to earn the paddle?
I literally did nothing but be kind.
That's all it takes sometimes.
It really is. If you just show up in the world with a bright smile and a good heart.
You too can find a free pickleball paddle.
Yeah, he also invited me to Thailand. But I think it was
genuine.
Like genuine.
Well,
like 70 years old.
To clear the story, Biz is not going to Thailand.
I'm not going.
And she did accept the pickleball paddle, though, as she should.
Well, if he wants to give me a pickleball paddle, and then that's fine.
To take it, why not?
Okay, so Biz, what do you think you can do moving forward to help you find the right guy? And like, what is that right guy?
Well, okay, so off that question, I just want to say what I learned from my last relationship is I think that I was so close in the last relationship that I do feel like my husband is right around the corner.
Wow.
No, it's true though, because I feel like every time it gets better and better.
The mystery guy that Josh is going to reveal
we will
at the end.
reveal him in a little bit.
He's not the guy.
I
love him, but he's not the guy.
He is actually about to be right around the corner, but we'll get to that.
Anyways, what was the question? What were we talking about?
You said you're close. You're close.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, like with my last relationship, this guy I think he was just my best friend. Like I love to do everything with him. And he was the first person I've ever been with that I just like always wanted to be with. And I just loved every second of it, honestly, and adored it. So I want that. Like I want like a partner that I'm excited to always be around because I am actually very introverted. So I love being alone. Like I can be alone for weeks on end and be so happy. So I think that was such a good change for me. So next time I want that. But I do think I'm not really attracted to people that are in the arts as much anymore, just because I've noticed a tendency, and it's not that everyone's this way, because also I'm an artist too. So it's like, I can't really, that would be hypocritical. But I do feel like there is something that's a little self-serving. It's like you're always going to put your career over everything else. And while I want to support someone's career and I want them to support me, but I also want to be valued as a partner, and I want commitment to be like something that's real. And yeah.
I honestly think that relationship needs to come first. And like, I mean, what if marriages put their work over their marriage? Like they're not going to have a successful marriage. So I do think that like you need to put that other person above your career. Now that's not to say that you don't need to take your career seriously or make it really important. But I think finding someone who helps you support your career. So it's like someone who like builds you up. Like, so like when I met Josh, he was so supportive of my career. Even before we started JD Vlogs, it was like, oh, let me help you film. Let me do this. Like he wasn't being like, oh, well, I'm working on my thing. You work on your thing. It's like, let's work on my thing together and let's work on your thing together.
Yeah.
So it's like really that team of building. And even with what you said of finding in your last relationship of like being that like best friend with someone, I truly believe that the best relationships are people who love hanging out with each other. And it's like, you get your own time in a relationship. Like even Josh and I, we're together all the time. We still get plenty of individual time. Like he skydives, he'll be gone all day Saturday. He goes to iFly. He's always gone. Sometimes he'll go to work alone. It's like, we do have our time alone. And I still want to be with him because I love him so much and it's just so much fun together. But I'm also secure by being by myself, which I feel like is a good relationship dynamic.
Yeah, for sure. I love everything you said. I think for me now, I'm really looking for someone who's also just has their life together and puts intention and care into everything from your morning routine, how you wake up, you go after the day. Like, I feel like I'm very driven and I really want someone who's driven, who I'm not like initiating things. I really want someone to just be on top of their stuff. Maybe someone in business. And
I like what you said there, but like, I feel like the way we're like has their life together. I feel like someone that's like has a passion, like determined, you know, because I don't think you have to have your life together.
So I'm not saying when I say, when I'm saying,
like they have some drive. They're like excited about life.
Has dated a lot of guys and a lot of people who like, it's not that you can't date someone with issues or problems, because I think that you should be able to like, in life, people are going to always have issues and problems, but it's like people who have like, they're secure in who they are and their passions. So like you said, passionate, but they're secure in who they are. They're secure in what they want and they know how to make it better. Not someone who's rich and successful or someone who has already made it, but it's like someone who's passionate and excited for the day and like,
and respects themselves enough to like have their life. Yeah. So I guess what I'm saying is like, do you value yourself and respect yourself in the way that you show up? I don't care about the money per se, but what I'm saying is like, I've dated people where I've had to lend them money. I've had to get them out of like really weird situations. And it's like, because I'm an empathetic person, I think often I've been taken a little bit for advantage of, and I want someone who wants to take care of me and wants to provide just like a just
as much as you want to take
exactly.
Care of them.
Just like that.
Well, I think it's attractive if somebody like cares about themselves. Like everyone's like, oh, like you don't have to be in shape, blah blah blah. But being in shape, I think says a lot about who you are. It's like I wake up every day. It's like I want to eat healthy. And I'm not saying me. I'm just saying like a person. Like I care to work out because I care about myself. And if I care about myself, I can care about others. If I don't even care about myself, how can I care about somebody else?
I love that. And I agree with that 100%. And that's something I'm so not like, I'm not saying for you, but like that is something that I'm definitely so attracted to, is someone who like values health and wants to work out and cares about themselves mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually.
I think a lot of people like try to put it in a negative way. It's like, oh, they're selfish. Like they just care about themselves. It's like, yeah, because if I don't care about myself, how can I care about my what? Like, how can I, if I don't put myself first?
If your cup's not full, how are you going to fill other people's?
100%.
If you have, and not to say you can't have issues, because everyone has issues and everyone has problems.
It's not issues things. Everybody has problems.
But what I'm saying is like, if you can like create the life you want and create your happiness, which I think everyone should take their own happiness and put that first, but you need to also like put other people as well.
Right. You know? And I guess going along with that is someone who you can depend on, who you know is going to show up for you and isn't going to flake or isn't going to be unpredictable when times are hard. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think this is one thing I've learned even from hearing like business relationship stories and things is when things are hard and tough, that should bring you closer in a relationship. Mm-hmm. Like the things that Josh and I have gone through that are hard has only brought us closer in our relationship stronger, because we're literally pushed together and like helping each other out. And that's how I feel like relationships.
Well, that's the thing I'm trying to say is like, you want like a ride or die. Like it's not like, oh, like
you had to have it all together.
They have to be successful or this, but it's like
no
someone
problems.
That's gonna like, obviously they care about what they're doing. They want to help you succeed. You want to like succeed together. Like,
yeah,
that's what to me, that's like a life partner, like a ride or die, you know?
So we're gonna find Biz her ride or die. So should we announce Biz's ride or die?
Oh my gosh, no.
I think first we gotta talk. I don't want to talk about this because I feel like it's awkward, but we have to talk about the story of when me and Katie ran into a subscriber, and he said the one thing about your sister. We got to touch on it.
Wait, I don't know if I know what you're talking about.
We literally just talked about it before we started the podcast.
I'm pregnant. I have pregnancy brain.
So we ran into a subscriber, and the guy was like, he was like an older dude. He was like a 40-year-old dude. And he's like, I love your guys' pranks. And then he literally looks at Katie and he goes, so is your husband actually into your sister? And I'm like, where did that come from?
No. Because I think at the time we did like a couple, like Biz, like
what was that?
had pranked
What
you a
prank
couple
was that?
times. I don't know, but it wasn't just that he asked. And I was like, oh, no, it was just a prank. It was a joke. Like, it's not. I was like, my sister's not into my husband.
Pressing.
And he was like, okay, I find that very hard to believe. She's definitely into him. And I was like, no, she's not. And then like he kept like, he made it like so awkward.
Oh, yeah, I think it was like one of the like making my sister flirt with my husband or boyfriend, whatever we were.
Yeah, it wasn't even something. I think it was Biz was like it was like I had her do that. It was like something like that, and he was like, "Oh no, there's no way."
It's not like I willingly come over and I'm like, "Let me flirt with my sister."
Biz comes over, Katie. I have the best prank idea.
I want to flirt.
Let me flirt with Josh.
That'd be a little sus if it was business prank idea, but yeah.
Biz is like, I have the best idea ever.
That is just
I want to put this in front of millions of people.
That's just a subscriber encounter that like I feel like we always talk about because it was so like you had to be there moment, but like they were pressing so hard about it and it was just so weird.
It was really funny. Okay, but to wrap things up, what is some JD vlogs dating advice for Biz?
Oh yeah, we're gonna tell you the secret for Biz to find the one because as you know, me and Katie,
I found the one.
Well, sure, but we're actually starting.
Determined.
You know, we're actually playing Cupid right now. Is
Yeah.
that what it is? Cupid, the guy that shoots like the love arrows?
No, because that would be like setting her up with the perfect one.
Okay, well, we can do that in the future if you guys would like to see that. Anyways, what's your dating advice, or how does she find the one?
I feel like she's definitely on the right track. Step number 1, get out of LA. I just feel like, not that, no offense to any guys in LA, I just feel like everyone is very career driven there. And they always put their career first, which is like self-serving. Not everyone. I would just say the majority of a lot of guys of like friends I know that have dated or you that have dated, like different things like that. And so step 1, get out of LA. Step 2, find a guy who is not in the arts. Step 3, find someone who is happy with their life. They're happy with themselves. They're happy with being an individual and someone who is confident in themselves, not cocky, but they're confident in who they are. They treat others well. And I think that that's all a sister could want for their sister or a sibling, because it's like you want them to be happy. Like, I want you to find the perfect person. I want us to all go on like little couple dates and, you know, I want you to be happy. And I think that you deserve someone really, really good. And I know that he's out there, and I know that dating these people is literally just next step to the right guy.
Yeah, and it'll be nice if he's around my age.
That'd be nice. Biz has dated age ranges.
I was gonna say we didn't even talk about her. You know, she's dated older guys. There's the whole PJ story. I feel like we missed a little bit.
What PJ story?
Private jet.
Oh.
She said, "Oh, maybe that's for another podcast. I don't know."
Yeah, I mean, we could touch on that really briefly. Just I have recently, the past couple of years, I've dated people like about 15 years older than me, and it's because I felt like I was connecting with them more than guys my own age. But I've realized like I really just want to be with someone my own age.
Yeah, which is good.
Because at this point, I feel like there are a lot of guys out there that are mature and have self-respect and care and stuff. So I will find that. And I do feel like I'm close because I'm living in my own truth and I'm doing all the things that I love to do. I'm out there on the pickleball courts. I'm interactive with people. I'm social. So it's like, it's definitely going to happen soon.
So if you're a single guy out there, Biz it doesn't matter. She'll date different ages.
No, I'm only dating
Trish Valero.
Sure.
No, I do want to say, because Katie gave her tips, and I want to give like my tips.
Okay, yeah, I want to hear your tips for sure.
First of all, I want to say, you know, we wish nothing but the best for Biz. You know, just saying, you know, sister-in-law.
I knew you were into
I personally think she's on the right track. You know, I would say if I was single, I'd be trying to date anybody and everybody out there to see like who it is I really love or what I really like. So I think she's on the right track doing that.
Is that what you did in your past?
Sure. Yeah.
He experienced everything too. Different ways. Just in a shorter amount of time.
Okay, stop.
He did the express dating.
Yeah, speed dating.
Anyways, this podcast is not about me. I think she needs to find a guy that golfs, plays pickleball, and maybe skydives, because I feel like that'd be a dope friend.
Why
for
are you
me to
describing
have.
yourself after we just
No, what I am describing.
Talk about self-serving.
I don't know why Katie took it there. I'm describing my boy back home, Chris Shalero. Chris? Why did I say Chris?
He doesn't even skydive.
Shalero. He has skydived multiple times,
If you
actually.
guys don't know who
He
Chris
plays
is, Chris
golf
is Josh's
and he
best
plays
friend.
pickleball. That's one of my best friends back home. He is single, ready to mingle. And I feel like you were pretty much describing him in this entire podcast. Like, honestly, you guys will have to go listen to it back now.
But all I have to say is their love story will continue when Biz goes back to Michigan for the summer.
That's what I'm saying. He is
No,
going to be right
that's
around the
not
corner.
true.
Maybe, what if you find a Michigander?
Hell no.
No?
Oh, shoot.
I found a Michigander.
No Michiganders
Oh.
out there?
Well, I guess you got the one good one in Michigan.
No, there's
Why
plenty-
are we
there's
ranking
plenty.
guys by states?
no.
That was rude.
No,
I
honestly-
love Michiganders, honestly.
Listen,
When you say
this
Michigan,
girl
I don't
has
like the
dated
word
more guys in
Michiganders.
LA. I would take I guess I did a Michigan guy. Honestly, there's good guys everywhere, and in Michigan, it's just hard where we live in Michigan. It's like a very small town. Like you already know everyone, so that's why it felt like totally random when I met Josh. Obviously you could meet a guy there. Like
I would say the
No.
word Michiganders kind of is an ick right there.
Yeah,
just to say
honestly, no, I think that the one thing with Michigan is my life is very spontaneous, and like I'm here for a job and there I'm doing this and doing that. And so the thing with Michigan is it is a more routine lifestyle. So it would just be a lifestyle like clash, but you guys did find someone. So maybe, but I would say like I am not even talking about this is like I'm open to a partner, but I'm not like it's not like something that I'm like, oh, I'm going there because I need a husband. It's more just like I'm going there to actually work on a project. And then from there, who knows? Maybe Miami, maybe back to LA. Like, who knows what God has for me? But I'm so excited because in this season, I've just like let go and just kind of surrendered. And I'm here for everything.
And I think that's all you really can do to find the one.
The one and
Yes.
only. I just want to say here, you heard what I think's gonna happen. I'll give it 5 years.
5 years.
5 years.
5
Be
years.
32.
Yeah, and then you and Chris Shalero live happily ever after.
Okay, I love you, Chris, so much. But yeah.
It's just an ongoing joke.
Yeah, we just joke.
not even joke.
We
but,
always
like,
try and
I
set
think
Biz
that's
up
my
with
boy.
we
I try to set Biz up with
Literally
everybody
with
just
everyone,
because
all of their friends.
it's fun. Why not?
It
That's
is.
what I do. I'm a matchmaker out here. I'm just.
Yeah.
You're not very good at it.
Yeah, Biz is still single, so you're not.
She's still
really good.
single, so clearly I suck. But I'm trying.
No, but we hope you guys did enjoy this podcast. And Biz, we just want to say thank you so much for joining the podcast, sharing your stories of things that went wrong, things that went good, things you've learned. And we just want to say thanks for having us on the podcast. Is there any last comments?
Thank you guys for having me. I love you guys, and your love is very inspirational to me. And it's always reminded me to not settle in life because I've seen probably one of the best examples of what a real, honest, true relationship is. And so I've honestly been so lucky to have you guys as an example in my life. So thank you guys.
Aw,
Thank you, Biz. That was cute. That was sweet.
That was cute.
Anyways, I'm still gonna beat her on the pickleball courts later tonight.
Who won yesterday?
Okay, wait.
This is your couple T podcast.
No, we gotta talk about that. We crushed the boys.
in
Like
the
me and Biz
next
undefeated.
episode.
All right, bye guys. Love you.
Love
Peace.
you. Bye.